Hi, I'm Daniel, and I have autism. This is the first time I properly mentioned it in a video. I didn't want to discuss it before a full video. On one hand, it could normalize by mentioning it casually, but I wanted to talk about it in its own video. In Autism Awareness Month 2, I will go over some autistic traits and general thoughts. I'll go back to regular views next video. This won't have too much editing. Also, I found out my diagnosis was 10 years ago recently, so it's good timing to release it this year. I should probably also try to be partially educational, but I'm mainly going to go over how I see things. So the way I see the world separately from neurotypicals, one thing is especially interest or high fixation. Both terms can be used. So wherever I have higher interest in something, it's mostly been animation for me. There's been quite a lot of different ones throughout my life. I don't know if I have changed to help them be smaller, or if I just have multiple smaller ones in recent. While I can find myself opinionated about many things without it being one, it does sometimes mean my interest sometimes fades randomly. I often need to be in the right state of mind to do things, and I get overwhelmed or something. I like being scheduled and having plans rather than working in the present. But also, sometimes it's hard to follow that schedule, so I plan if I need more time for something. In terms of this channel, I planned out to list the videos for months ahead, but I used to have trouble fitting in ideas I get in the moment because there's no room. I've got excited about this recently. Most of my videos in March will ask me ideas. But I still a schedule which occasionally has me videos I want to over ones I wanted months ago. My interests switch around a lot, which makes some videos easier to write than others. That leads on to some of my focusing issues. I don't know if this has got worse or I'm just self-aware about it now. It's hard to go a couple of minutes without zoning out. I sometimes have breaks recording just to stare into space for 2 minutes. When nothing is happening, I often automatically zone out. The reason is my thoughts are very in-depth and have random things to tell me. It's where most of my video ideas come from. Sometimes it's helpful, but sometimes it can be annoying when trying to focus on things. I'm trying to see if my thoughts also don't shut up. I have to sleep at time most people consider early because it takes over an hour of lying down thinking to sleep. Keep in mind, it's common for different autistic people to be on separate extremes for certain traits. Apparently a lot of autistic people have yo sleep. My brain has info dumps as they call them, that explains to others as well. The amount of thoughts I can have about what most people consider a regular concept is quite high. I go, you know what I don't get, and rant about something really specific, like the concept of birthday cards. This is also why I have unlimited video ideas that I can't see myself ever running out of. Next thing, stimming is a form of moving that most neurodivergent people do to focus and retain things. This is sometimes shaking or moving a leg in a repetitive motion and sometimes messing with a physical object. I have a lot of things that could work with this. Some are designed toys to stim, while others are intended for a different reason but still work. Like paper clips, more specifically destroying them. Sometimes annoying not stimming. When recording, I can't create sound that gets in the way of what I want to say. I wish there was a way to turn sound off objects sometimes. I also don't feel very connected to the outside world. I don't like going outside. I love a lot of things physically, like food. I'm a very picky eater because 90% of food tastes bad. There's few things I like and I prefer things plain rather than having sauces or other weird textures. I get overwhelmed easily, and I don't understand some things in Yak what most consider general knowledge. It takes me time to process some things if I'm not prepared to be asked a question. My mind can think quite fast, but I'm quite slow getting my mind to translate that into speech. I don't know how much this is autism, but I'm not normal. It can sometimes be hard with some of these issues and a neurotypical dominated society. I would prefer to be like this than not. I like the way I perceive things I wouldn't want to be normal. As someone who thinks the other things will never happen, it's hard to imagine a neurotypical me. If you think you might have autism, there's lots of different sides and ways it can present itself. I used to be very confrontational, but now I'm not confrontational but think about what ifs commonly. Getting diagnosed at a young age was good for me. I didn't like the authority and how I felt when I was young. But it does form a bit of a disconnect when it's becoming a part of the autism experience to look up traits and discover you are it. I've never thought of autism in a way that wasn't me. That makes me feel like autism is more me than just something I have. Also, if there's a spectrum, I'm probably quite far on it. My voice in videos is sometimes hard to understand, but it's worse when I'm not reading a script and doing re-recordings when I say lines. Especially when younger, because I've been conditioned to speak faster. Conclusion, this was a video I wanted to get out of the way to talk about my minority group. Spread awareness on autism awareness. I don't think getting too personal, so I'll currently stick to reviews. But it makes things easier to discuss. For example, Last year I planned a video on finding Dory, but put on hold because I wanted to go with disability. I might provide a video eventually, but I don't know. It's also because I headcanon many characters autistic, and I can discuss those elements in more detail. Another thing, the jigsaw puzzle piece icon is bad and clearly designed by a neurotypical. The light bulb and Infinity look better, but not great. If you enjoyed the discussion, consider pressing subscribe and watching my usual animation review videos. The end.